zappers will be pretentious, like the kids in school didn't have a TV growing up. I don't want to spend the night at Joey's house. Their family are freaks. They didn't let him get the Neuralink prostate pack. Their dad's religious and doesn't believe in fun, I guess. They just hit vapes and watch Minecraft streamers all day. They're like Amish or something. They're weirdos. As the medium of media changes, it also changes us. A 2021 Harvard study reported a surge in Tourette's-like symptoms of adolescents using TikTok. The repetitive trending audios became default responses.
Very demure, very mindful.
Having a conversation with an 11-year-old feels like playing Cards Against Humanity. They just have this deck of
shoddy blood, like, that's good. Fire. It's Riz right there. It's that light skin Riz. Mad lit, on God, no cap.
People are also self-censoring in real life to abide by social media platforms' terms of service. To get around content moderation when talking about subjects like rape or suicide, creators will use terms like unalive or essay instead. These topics aren't advertiser-friendly, so they have to be talked about in a roundabout, sanitized fashion. The reverberations of that are people in the real world feeling like they have to sanitize their speech, like there's an omnipresent content moderator always standing behind them. Refraining from profanity or talking about sex used to be from fear of eternal damnation. Now the fear is demonetization. These are heavy topics that aren't supposed to be light and advertiser-friendly. You shouldn't have to say, no diddy, but I was like raped as a child. You need therapy. In Neil Postman's book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, he reflects on how the medium of communication shapes the culture.
Okay, this is true. This is fact, though. Yeah. What we found out earlier today is that there is a 46% chance that that the Rizzler is a Hamas supporter, like a firm and committed Hamas supporter. Like low-key. I mean, he's under the age of 18, which increases his chances of being a Hamas supporter. Because, like, think about how these numbers came about, okay? 18 to 24, that's the TikTok demographic. Who is on TikTok even more than 18-year-olds? 12-year-olds. The Rizzler is literally not only on TikTok, he's a TikTok content creator, okay? The younger you get, the more time you spend on TikTok. The more time you spend on TikTok, the more you talk about the Al-Qassam brigades and all of its glory. Like, the Rizzler probably had the red operational Al-Aqsa flood banner, okay? Do you understand? Talk about a real baby of terror. These babies, they love terror. Extrapolating this trend linearly, this means a 2-month-old is 99% likely to support Hamas. Yes, that's my point. Exactly. Why do you think Israel wants to kill children so bad? Because they're not wrong. These are children of terror. The younger you are, the more likely you are on TikTok. The more likely that you are on TikTok, the more likely you support Hamas unconditionally. What do you guys think? That's the crack the code, dude. That's it. Anyway, I do, this statistic it always makes me laugh. So I will probably be going back to this quite a bit. Like 50-50 split between multi-billion-dollar propaganda operation over the course of 77 years of apartheid and genocide versus the most Islamophobic nation on the planet lending support to a group of orphaned teenagers with bathtub missiles and bathtub guns that they made, okay? Like, that is insane. I'm sorry. Israel is in the dirt, dude. Holy, can you imagine unleashing one of the most sophisticated multiple decade propaganda and influence peddling operations only to be so horny and so arrogant for child murder that you literally have a 50-50 split with Hamas. 50-50 split with Hamas, a organization designated as a terror organization in one of the most Islamophobic countries on the planet. That's crazy. This is with the insane amount of censorship and the insane, unprecedented amount of contextualization of a live-streamed Holocaust that you can get from every orifice in mainstream media. Like, This is why I was saying over and over again, if CNN and the New York Times and BBC and all these other outlets were honest about their coverage of Israel's atrocities, it wouldn't be a near 50-50 split for 18 to 24. 80-year-olds would be preaching about Hamas. They would be advocating for a coalition of the willing to invade Tel Aviv. 2016 NBA Finals all over again. Curry blew a 3-1 lead to Braun. Legot might be La Hamas. Zach from Try Guys just talked to the recent meeting about meeting him, and he asked if Zach liked Trump. Oh, the Rizzler? Yeah, of course they're right wing. What are you talking about? I'm joking. What is this? My 5th grade daughter is reading at a 10th grade level and at the top of the honor roll in math and English. You seem angry. Cross Harvard off the list of schools for my kids. I don't think that's something you had to worry about anyway, champ.
Take it. It will give you strength.
Doesn't sound appropriate, but it's probably a lie. Excuse me, sir. My name is The Real Truther. Obviously, I don't tell lies. Spreading truth about vaccines since 2015. Anti-Semite Slayer. Listen to past spaces under highlights. Wait. This guy is an anti-vaxxer who also attacks anti-Semites? That makes no sense. Like, is he just like half the time shitting on... Wait, why do I follow him? What the was this account in the past that it became this? Because look at all the other accounts that follow him. This must have been oh my god. This must have been an account that was like, no, not bot followers. No. This was probably like, if you scroll back hard enough, you'll find like the truth. He probably was like normal and then lost his mind. Either a meme page that got bought and then sold to this guy, or was a person that was like wasn't normal, but like probably was one of those like conspiracy adjacent accounts that just like lost their mind post-COVID. No, it was a shitpost account 100%. I've seen a few meme accounts sold off and post the dumbest ad slop. Could be. Gonna hit that unfollow now. It's a pro-vaxxer megalib who loves Israel. Oh, they're pro-vax. They're not anti-vax. Oh, when someone says spreading the truth about vaccines. Oh, fighting science misinformation. Oh, it is pro-vax. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. All right. I probably followed them because they were fighting anti-vax losers. Never mind.
Of speech. It is recreated anew by every medium of communication, from painting to hieroglyphs to the alphabet to television. Each medium, like language itself, makes possible a unique mode of discourse.
How can you be pro-vax and then be pro-Israel, by the way? Israel literally denied vaccines to Palestinians. Like, that's weird. Like that doesn't, you don't even think about that? How does that work? Not a part of your equation? Palestinians not human? Is that how this works? Gross. Yeah, he's pro-vax, but he didn't...
Of course, by providing a new orientation for thought, for expression, for sensibility. While I do not know exactly what content was once carried in the smoke signals of American Indians, I can safely guess that it did not...
He just said he's fighting anti-Semitism, not pro-Israel. No, dummy. This is where I'm getting he's a pro-Israel from, not the fact that he's like fighting anti-Semitism. If you see a poll like this and you're literally a science guy and you think this means all Harvard students, 46% of Harvard students, and it's not a Harvard poll, okay, you're so insane. You're so insane at that point that you're lost in the sauce. You're like, oh, not sending my children to Harvard. They're pro-Hamas. Like, okay, dude. Like, the very fact that you can't even demonstrate basic competence and realize that this poll is conducted in a way where it's supposed to be Israel versus Palestine, but because that would be unfavorable to Israel supporters because it would be like 90% pro-Palestine, okay? That they do Israel versus Hamas, and those numbers keep growing for Hamas month over month, and this person doesn't understand why that is happening, you know? The person they replied to seemingly has you blocked. All their interactions are grayed out for you. This person? Oh. I guess they do. I know him online, lol. I don't know who this person is. Let's go back to the video, please.
Include philosophical argument. Puffs of smoke are insufficiently complex to express ideas on the nature of existence. And even if they were not, a Cherokee philosopher would run short of either wood or blankets long before he reached his second axiom.
October 27, 2024. The Twitch has become a hotbed for extremism. Deeply disturbing. Okay, dude. Why do you still follow me then, big dog?
You cannot use smoke to do philosophy. Its form excludes the content. Twitter in some respects has ruined our relationship with other human beings and has infected media and politics. The format of Twitter rewards certain styles of communication and either consciously or unconsciously has changed the way that we speak to each other. Features such as the 140 character limit strips words of their context and forces people to oversimplify complex subjects. This lends itself to sensational and divisive statements that embolden the people that agree with you and alienate those in the outgroup. The block button would eliminate naysayers from your feed and curate communities of echo chambers. The quote tweet feature, or the look at this dumbass button, would be the driving force of cancel culture. You could take people's sensational and out-of-context tweets to poach their audience for max visibility and signal to your own tribe that you're not this dumbass, two-dimensional character that you're sacrificing upon the altar.
Did you read the recent news article with quotes from Hamas? You told me to support them, but they just stated they did October 7th to destabilize the Middle East, not anything to do with Israel. Why you gaslight me? Awesome. Seems like Hamas's intentions were to destabilize. They wanted to destabilize the Middle East. Why you do this? Why you gaslight me? Yeah, I'm in the pocket of big Hamas chatter.
After running
You got it.
diagnostics on the Praetor suit, it appears that I can activate optional challenges that, when completed, will assist in
This communication
upgrading our
style
arsenal
spilled
at an
over the
accelerated
containment
pace.
walls of Twitter
I have added
and
a
affected
tracking
how we talk
component
to
to
each
your
other in all
dossier.
facets of our life. Movies and television had characters not speaking to each other, but creating caricatures of the archetypes they see online and dunking on them with quips spoken to the audience beyond the fourth wall. Hollywood started to lose touch with the consensus of the American people and existed in bubbles of wealthy socialites. People started to tap out, finding no commonalities with the people that used to bring them joy through their work. They sought out alternative forms of entertainment. There was a huge boom in online independent content creators. The political horseshoe theory states that as you move further into the extremes of an ideology, the two wings start to take on more similarities than differences. On one side, we have Mao Zedong. And on the other side, we have Adolf Hitler. The most radical of each party both take on ultranationalism and authoritarian mechanisms of control and come to the ultimate conclusion that
we're just gonna kill him.
Take the topic of abortion, for example. In the center, you have no strong feelings one way or the other. You just don't want to make people upset at dinner parties. If you go down a little bit in the right wing, abortion is a tragedy, but there still needs to be access for certain circumstances, such as rape or incest. If you go down even further, there's no exceptions whatsoever. Every abortion is a murder, and there should be no access. But if you go far enough right, they actually end up becoming pro-choice again, depending on the race of the baby. Similar to the political horseshoe, content exists on a horseshoe of attention. Let's replace the variables to illustrate this phenomenon. We'll replace the desire for change axis with views. And we're going to swap out the left-right political axis with cringe to awe-inspiring. The center, just like in politics, is boring.
The political horseshoe theory is ridiculous. I don't. That's disappointing from a Hasanabi head. I think it was a joke.
I mean, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just fine. They're mediocre. There's no one you want to send it to. It's just something that you'll see and scroll past. Then we have the awe-inspiring. The content that reminds you what it means to be human. You're exposed to levels of talent and dedication that show you why these people were put on Earth. They give you hope for the future and passion for the present. Then on the other end of the spectrum, we have the embodiment of cringe.
The next SNL cast member.
That guy was awesome.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Day 419 of spraying dog medicine on my hands.
That guy's also awesome.
Kicker received the virus.
Lockdown disappeared.
The lolcows, the schizos, the rage bait, the dumbest guy from your high school's Gary V inspired Hustlecore podcast, portals into unimaginable hell, despair stranger than fiction. The awesome and the cringe are more similar than they are different. There's a magnetism to them. You can't look away, either because it's like a car accident or it's so beautiful it transcends into angelic. You just have to share it with everyone you know. It's either art or it's some form of performance art by its mere existence. Artists are beginning to get phased out by content creators. An artist is somebody that makes art, and that word carries certain connotations with it. Art makes you feel something, it has resonance. It starts dialogues, and through people's different interpretations, it can reveal things about yourself and the world around you. Comedy carries the expectation that it'll make somebody laugh when they see it. If it doesn't make you laugh, there'll be arguments over whether it's even classified as a comedy. Is this what passes for comedy nowadays? Must have forgot to laugh. Is Nanette a comedy?
Think about this.
No.
You're stuck in traffic, and the lights turn blue.
Yeah, some people think it is. It doesn't have to make everybody laugh. It just has to make somebody laugh. If you intended for something to be funny and one person laughs, congratulations, you've succeeded at making comedy. You've met the functional definition of the product. If you make a chair, there's the expectation that you'll be able to sit in it. But if you give it to Dave Bluntz and he blows the legs out...
Hey, Stelmate, from the creator, I can clean the political horseshoe part coming up. I'm not on Heel Lib, and this was the main misinterpretation, I think. It was mostly just a throwaway to get the content theory part. I was just saying that the autocrats, regardless of starting political ideology, usually end up employing similar tactics to maintain that power. Don't let the tankies be mean to me. Nah, it's over. You're canceled already, big dog. Sorry. Should have thought about that before you used it. Before you used such an infantile political tool to make it
stop being a chair. No, it just wasn't made for him. It would have been the perfect stool for Sweet Baby Hezbollah. It was just sold to the wrong customer. But if no one on Earth can sit on it like it's a flaming baseball bat with nails in it, you can't really call it a chair anymore. Content creators have no expectations. Nobody can say something technically isn't content. In the same way that Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. It was posted, therefore it's content. You could just as easily call it shit. Hey, did you see that latest shit Chrissy Teigen posted? Nah, I'm up to my neck in Johnny Salami shit right now. I don't even know if I'll get to it. Art is entertaining, so people end up treating it like it's interchangeable with entertaining shit.
Netflix pays $100 million to Aaron Sorkin or whoever to make a TV show, right, that distracts you for 2 hours. Right. YouTube pays $0 million to make a podcast that distracts you for 2 hours every day. Netflix cannot compete.
Media's talked about like it's a pacification ray just meant to tranquilize you long enough to make it to the next ad break. Just blasting you with a fire hose of concentrated fluoride meant to sedate you. And this is actually what some people claim they want. A common complaint people have on why they tapped out of movies and television is that everything's too woke nowadays. I don't want to be preached at by a bunch of out-of-touch millionaires and their politics. We need to go back to simpler movies to escape all that crap, like Star Wars, where a group of rebels engage in asymmetrical guerrilla warfare against a technologically superior evil empire, which doesn't have any parallels to anything like America in the 1960s. What are you talking about? I don't even know how you came to that conclusion. What the do you mean the Ewoks are Vietnamese? No, they're little bears. To get into the woke phenomenon, we need to talk about the most persecuted minority in American history, the gamer. Now, I don't want to come across as tone deaf. I can say the G word. Hard R. I've reached levels of unemployment not heard of since the stock market crash in 29. While you were out partying, I studied the blade. While you were engaging in premarital sex, I practiced the blade. While you wasted your days in the gym in pursuit of vanity, I mastered the blade. Our people were brought into the sphere of public discourse in 2014 with Gamergate. Gamergate was a sprawling clash between Sargon of Akkad, Anita Sarkeesian, and Baron Harkonnen. Wait, not the last guy. Everyone sounds like a villain from Doom for some reason. The gist of Gamergate was a female journalist critiqued the video game industry for objectifying women and only having them as one-dimensional characters with big jiggly titties meant to serve the male gaze. Responses to this ranged from "that's gay" to "that is super gay." For the Chronically Online that were on the pulse of this controversy, some people agreed with her critique of the industry,
and others wanted to kill her. Literally, we're like, you should die. We should do all of the medieval terror, medieval techniques of torture on you. And anyone who defends you also deserves it. Like, it's one of those moments where like, sure, she was kind of cringe, but like, who cares? Why the did you invest any time and any effort, any moment of your life to losing your mind over this person? How goddamn pathetic. My friend got so radicalized about those videos, he became a crypto Nazi guy. That's what I mean. It's like human beings are so malleable, but goddamn, you don't have any intellectual backbone, no moral compass whatsoever, that like the fattest, sweatiest, most neck-bearded loser can convince you into giving your life up for implementing the Fourth Reich, which ironically enough, if things were to operate like the Third, you would be melted. You would be melted into biomatter under. Like in the new regime, you would not be an Aryan Chad. You would be in the death camps for being a maladjusted loser who can't leave his house. Like you would not be in the front lines, you know?
Some people disagreed, and a few people messaged her, "If you try to take away my big jiggly titties, I swear to God I will burn your house to the ground." The dialogue then shifted from the video games being misogynistic to the gamers themselves. A concerted effort was made by the gaming journalist community to write a slew of articles about how the gamer was dead. "We were a proud and noble people. We lived in harmony. The noob, the camper, the kid that could freestyle rap on Call of Duty party chats. Until one day, the white woman attacked." This was the jumping-off point for YouTube's right-wing radicalization pipeline. Creators such as Sargon of Akkad, Gavin McGinnis, and Milo Snuffleupagus gained notoriety during this time. When young men felt under attack by the culture, these YouTube personalities became a bulwark against the criticism and engaged in their own asymmetric warfare against the corporate media entities. The lines in the sand had been drawn for the culture war that was going to take place over the next decade.
Demand presence did not save you.
Luigi's identity only comes from what and who he isn't. Without a wider frame of reference, he is nothing. He is not his own man. In a world where our identities are shaped by our warped relationships to brands and commerce, we are all Luigi. To apply the postmodern analysis of Waluigi to our American entertainment system, we can start with the 1984 movie Ghostbusters. Set in the Reagan era, it was an embodiment of the culture at the time. A ragtag boys club of blue-collar men kicking ass and saving the day, going up against the nerds and the dickless Environmental Protection Agency. We'll use them as our Mario. Traditional masculinity, saving the damsel in distress, and slinging dick jokes. Then came the 2016 reboot, Lady Ghostbusters. Wait, it's just called Ghostbusters? I've literally only ever heard it referred to as Lady Ghostbusters. It's too late to change that. Lady Ghostbusters is our Luigi. Essentially the same skeleton as the original, but with a role reversal. In the Obama years, it was less a reflection of our culture than an attempt at a course correction to it. It didn't seem to have a problem with bosses sexually harassing their secretaries, but it posed the question, why can't a girl boss sexually harass her male secretaries? Chris Hemsworth played the himbo hunk with a room temperature IQ that the Lady Ghostbusters salivated over.
And now's your moment. Pull it out.
The movie was released in the summer of 2016, when all of Hollywood thought Hillary Clinton would be a lock for the presidency.
In all of the battles that were fought and lost, where I think every belligerent lost, I feel like I dodged all of these cultural bullets. Like, even when the Ghostbusters, Lady Ghostbusters shit was happening, I was like who cares? I didn't watch it. You know what I mean? When Gamergate was happening, I was like, I play video games. I don't understand why these people are so obsessed with titties in video games. Like, why? Why do you make a big deal? Like, it becomes like the content itself, and this is what's happening with Gamergate 2 now, is that the content is not about the games, or playing it, or consuming it, or even like having any sort of serious critique about the commodification of art and how capitalism has destroyed even the space of gaming, even though there's still a lot of incredible games that come out year over year, and games are, some might even say, better than ever before. But like, it's more so about the outrage. Like, these guys that cry about the games that come out, they actually want shitty games to come out so they can complain. They need something. They need a villain. Like, they don't care about the games at all. I don't think they actually consume any games at all. Like, they rarely ever play video games. They are not in it for good video games. Like, their direction, what they want out of the gaming industry is not even necessarily like a clear-cut, well-defined agenda. Like, oh, all characters have to be like sexy, whether they're men or women. Like, men have to have strong dicks and women have to have strong titties. Like, that's not even what they really want. And that's precisely the reason why there's always outrage directed towards games that are bangers. Like, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a great example of this. These outrage merchants freaked the f*** out about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The guy who made it is a bit of a reactionary himself, and yet he made an incredible game. Like, I played it, I spent countless hours on it, and it's so good that it kind of like ruined me for playing the Oblivion remaster, because the combat after playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, when you get used to that combat, you're like, oh my god, every other type of like first-person RPG combat is just so ass. You're just hacking for no reason. Like, it doesn't feel the same. And the world was expansive. It was lived in. It was real. Like, it felt real. The NPCs were like, they would react to you, the way you look, the way you act. It was awesome. And yet, gamers freaked out because they thought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the guy who made it, even though he was a bit of a reactionary himself, had actually put a black character in the game And there was a perfect reason for why there was a black character in the game. Just one, by the way, just one black character. And that there was a gay sex plot line. And people lost their mind. They were like, how dare you? How dare you put a black character in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? How dare you put gay sex in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is optional, by the way. And they lost their mind over it because they don't care about playing good games. They care about simply outrage.
The film suffered a similar humiliation to Clinton, being negatively panned by audiences and was a box office flop. The response by the creators was to blame the audience for the poor reception. They called the fan base racist, sexist, all the ists-and-isms you can think of. I saw someone say the movie failed because of misogynoir, which is a new word for hating black women, I guess. They really need to workshop that one, because it sounds too sexy right now. It's like a cologne that Johnny Depp would sell.
Leslie Jones is a dumb bitch. Misogynoir. By Dior.
The backlash then fueled the creation of the monstrosity Waluigi, the inverse to Lady Ghostbusters. Lady Ballers. The reactionary swinging of the pendulum. Whereas the toxic masculinity of the 80s was subconscious, and not altogether harmless, wasn't deliberately malicious, the new wave has gone septic. Their thesis statement is nothing besides we are not Lady Ghostbusters.
Boys are better at everything. They're better at basketball, MMA.
That goes without saying.
And running, and javelin, driving, parking, most of the STEM fields, rock and roll, opening pickle jars!
They don't know what they are, only what they're not. Anti-woke, anti-DEI, anti-establishment. The Daily Wire, PragerU, and right-wing media companies said they're going to be bringing back real comedy.
It's like comedy sucks. It's like nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like legalized comedy. Yeah, brother, this guy stinks!
Return to the heyday of the feel-good, apolitical, sophomore comedies of Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup! Do you want to go do karate in the garage? Yup!
The movie Lady Ballers, directed by Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
I swear to God, that's his real name. Was marketed as a comedy that harkens back to the 90s and early 2000s. These people have no idea how to accomplish that task. It's as if the art of making a lighthearted comedy is a lost technology, like how the Egyptians built the pyramids. They are so off the mark of making something like Step Brothers or The Hangover, they must be sitting in the editing bay coming up with conspiracies on how Adam McKay was helped by extraterrestrials. The movie is just as pedagogic or preachy as any of the woke movies that they spent their careers rallying against.
Of course, your divorce is affecting your daughter. 70% of all people in prison come from broken families. She's twice as likely to do drugs, twice as likely to drop out of school.
Oh, that's worse.
4 times as likely to have trouble fitting in, 3 times as likely to end up in therapy, twice as likely to commit suicide.
It's condescending, spiteful, putting political messaging over any sort of story or character development.
These transhumanist tech oligarchs and nihilist college professors have already convinced every self-righteous housewife with Munchausen by proxy to sacrifice their kids on the altar of false virtue.
You cannot do a funny impression of somebody that you hate with all of...
Yeah, this is like shittier Aaron Sorkin. Oh my God. That was the most Sorkin-esque dribble I have ever encountered. And it was somehow worse than the shit he puts out. Oh my God. Oh my God, the soy right is so real, dude. The soy right is not a meme. It's just the reality. For years and years, it turns out the right were just jealous that what they perceived as like liberal monoculture was so dominant in media. They just wanted to be, they're just as soy. They just wanted to make movies. Like that's all this was. An arts program could have fixed half of the reactionary movement. Sorkin at the end of the day at least has the dream of working with Republicans. That's also true. I mean, I guess they already got their conservative guy who writes long speeches. He just happens to be a Democrat Party voter. You know what I mean? What do you mean by Aaron Sorkin? That monologue right there was literally a Aaron Sorkin monologue. Aaron Sorkin is, if you like him, you are probably a liberal. You like long, drawn-out, idealistic monologues about how we can find a reasonable middle ground and that America truly is a great country. It's just we haven't been able to unleash our potential.
Of your being.
You just did that entire story to what?
To make a name for myself? To get clicks? To gain power? What part of I'm a journalist do you not understand? I'll cancel you.
The characters in Lady Ballers despise each other to the level of your parents arguing.
West Wing walks with Veep Karan. How could you compare? How could you compare two entirely separate types of art? West Wing is dog shit. It's idealistic liberal nonsense. Veep is a documentary. West Wing bricked an entire generation's brain, okay? West Wing is responsible for the modern Democratic Party more than Aaron Sorkin almost single-handedly is responsible for all of the failures of the modern Democratic Party. If you could pinpoint one type of, like one, if you were to, albeit reductive, but if you were to like figure out one person that is perhaps most responsible for third-way neoliberalism and its prominence in mainstream culture and it's like unlimited defense from random onlookers, Aaron Sorkin is the guy and West Wing is the method. 5 years, time to unfollow. Grew up on West Wing, disagree wholeheartedly. There's nothing wrong with liking idealism as long as it's entertainment and you understand the real world. Leave my liberal king alone. Sorkin does not deserve that. Oh my God. Veep, on the other hand, Armando Iannucci is like the opposite of Sorkin. Sure, some of his later works are not the best, but Armando Iannucci is a far more competent writer and far funnier and has an infinitely better understanding of the world of politics and just the world in general than Aaron Sorkin ever could. They are on the diametrical opposites of being of doing work that is rooted within materialism. Star Trek is idealism. West Wing is ignorant propaganda. Fair.
But the only thing you have to do to make me and your mom happy is come home at the end of the day.
The only thing you ever had to do to make me happy was come home at the end of the day.
I'm not gonna like you, am I? Don't be ridiculous. Everybody likes me.
I'm not gonna like you very much, am I?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Dana. Everybody likes me.
But at the moment, I could buy Mount Auburn Street, take the Phoenix Club, and turn it into my ping pong room.
I could buy his house 4 times and turn it into my ping pong room.
Answer them, don't answer them. It's entirely up to you.
The West Wing is like 8 seasons of Reddit comments. Oh, that's so good. No, I don't want to play the iconic monologue. If I play this monologue, half of chat is going to turn around and say he's actually dope. If I play this monologue, the newsroom monologue, half of this chat is going to turn around and be like, he's actually sick. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to disappoint myself. And I don't want to disappoint everyone in this. I don't want to be disappointed in my community. I don't want to awaken the nascent liberal inside of everyone. Okay, inside of you are 2 wolves. Both of them are gay. One is a gay liberal. The other is a gay communist.
With each other at the Cheesecake Factory the night before their divorce. You never listen to me. Oh, is that what I sound like? Oh, well, who am I?
Dear, I lost our kid's college money sending Amazon gift cards to an Indian man pretending to be my girlfriend. Dear, I'm retarded.
Well, yeah, I mean, those are impressions, but I don't think that their child sitting on the other side of the table is going to find it very funny. Here's what the funniest comedian of all time said about making jokes about groups of people. You need to tell a black joke like you're talking to your black friends. You got to tell jokes about women like you're talking to your sisters. You got to tell jokes about white people like you're talking to your white friends. This movie wasn't made to be enjoyed by women or Democrats or gay people. It was made as a spite project to pander to an in-group. And my problem with it isn't that it's conservative. It's because it sucks ass. There's plenty of great movies that are made by conservatives and are conservative in nature. Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino, Mel Gibson's Apocalypto, the first Incredibles, arguably, or in any of the Vince Vaughn movies in the early 2000s. The difference was they used to have a humanity to them. Vince Vaughn would be the sarcastic, everyman protagonist, trading blows with the beta male liberal. But at the end, there was some sort of commonality where they're like, alright, you're an annoying pussy, but I'm kind of a stupid asshole. Can we just get along and get through this wedding? The modern anti-woke content gives no quarter. There's no olive branches. There's no attempt at understanding. It exists as a power fantasy where the main character is an audience stand-in that's always right, just destroying their political opponents, knocking over straw men with the lack of nuance fueled by the Twitter-poisoned mind. You might be inclined to write off the Daily Wire as propaganda, but that's not the correct term. Propaganda is a form of communication used to influence or persuade an audience to further a political agenda. Their content isn't made to lure a politically neutral audience into their ideology. The origin of these channels are SJW owned, libtard destroyed content where a grown man with a research team and printed out statistics corners teenagers on their way to a Comp 1 class to try to make them look like dumbasses. These aren't designed for liberals to come around and see things their way. They're made as a catharsis for people that already hate liberals. And I get it, they're annoying. Propaganda is supposed to separate you from your way of thinking. A grifter's job is separating a market demographic from their money. Selling anti-woke coffee and razor blades.
If you've had enough of the woke bullshit, and you're tired of paying companies like Harry's and Gillette to hate you,
because they see people's alienation and frustration.
There's nothing funnier than this company falling apart financially, by the way.
But the system is an opportunity for them to line their own pockets. It's an insult to the audience's intelligence that they make content that doesn't challenge their worldview or perspective. They say, we already know what you think and feel, and we want you to stay right there, because that's how we know how to sell to you. So is that it? Everything is shit? Hollywood is shit? The mindless brain rot is shit? The political grifters are shit?
With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes.
Is everything good in the past?
The sculpture is a Chinese woman, you dork-ass losers.
Of course not. There's still great art being made every day. It's just going to be harder to find now. The algorithms are designed so the content that rises to the top is often mindless clickbait, engagement farming, or people exploiting your anger and disenfranchisement. Great art is still being created, probably now more than ever, but you're going to have to pan for it like gold.
Okay, bro, he put Mickey 17 in there? That's crazy. Like, The Pit is fire, okay? The Pit was fire. Rehearsal's very good. I've been watching the second season, but Mickey 17 was, biggest miss of his career. Sorry. Mickey 17 was awesome. Straight up, I stand on this 100%. Mickey 17 is you are objectively wrong. For Bong Joon-ho, I'm butchering his name, Mickey 17 is literally his worst movie. It's a 7 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10. It was, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Are you serious? Are you serious? It was for a world where Kamala Harris won the election. It was just, dude, come on, dude. You got Parasite and you're comparing it to like Mickey 17. No, listen. The premise is great. I know it's like off of an original work and it's supposed to be, what's your critique? It was a waste. It was a waste, okay? It was a waste. First of all, Mark Ruffalo and his character was so ass, dude. He was so ass. Like, he is such a fantastic actor, and it was such an annoying performance. Like, yeah, I get it. Oh my God, he's like a Elon Musk, Donald Trump type. Like, Mickey 17, when you watch Mickey 17 and you like it, it's just like the equivalent of pointing to the camera and being like, I get that reference. It was booty cheeks. Film Redditors love the champion mid. On the other hand, you know what was phenomenal in it? What's the name of the main guy? Robert Pattinson. Fantastic. A Knicks player quoted Ho Chi Minh. Wait, Cat did? That's not just any Knicks player, bro. And that's also, holy shit, that's from years ago, bro. What are you talking about? Remember, the Storm is a good opportunity for the Pine and the Cypress to show their strength and their stability. Ho Chi Minh? Was he even on? Bro, he was 2019. He wasn't even a Knicks player at the time. What are you talking about? That's sick, though. He regularly quotes the Little Red Book now. Y'all are joking, right? You are out of your... What? He quotes the Little Red Book? Market sees that Mickey doesn't have agency. The tough clone is the one that sacrifices himself. The main Mickey just sits around and everyone else does stuff. It's just like liberals waiting around to vote for Kamala. That was literally the end of the movie. Worst film of his career. Your take is right. No, it absolutely. He loves China. You know it was filmed years ago, right? I don't care when it was filmed. I'm just saying that, like... I'm just saying... Oh, we're all over the place. God damn it. I'm the flying off the wheels here. This goddamn stream is falling apart. Mickey 17 was a movie that would have been fantastic with tweets. And I feel like it just missed. It missed the mark. It was watchable, but it's not rewatchable at all. It's just not very good. I say this as someone who absolutely loves space exploration, space colonization, and dystopian sci-fi futures. I love all of those concepts together, and I love Bong Joon-ho as well. It is 6.5 out of 10, which is higher than I think it deserves. Like all of those concepts, and it still fell so flat. It was shocking. Did you see Sinners? Because I loved it. Sinners, excellent. Wall to wall, phenomenal. Like there were so many interesting concepts about cloning, the lack of care for undesirables, debt traps, and what people do, and what people do to escape. Like what people do to escape the financial circumstances that they were forced into. Like all of that stuff is great. Like leaning into that shit was so much. Leaning into that shit would have been so much better. All right, let's keep on.
Become a small-time patron of the arts. In a world where attention is a commodity, the only democratic control we have is not to look. You have to be like Lot's wife fleeing Sodom and Gomorrah, and if she dared look back, she'd be turned into a pillar of salt. If you're pulling your hair out and asking why is this popular, are people stupid? Yeah, duh. And you're even dumber than them, because you're not even enjoying the time that you wasted. It's like eating a whole plate of Twinkies and going, I hate Twinkies. Disgusting slop made to demoralize us. The West is dead. Yeah, man, no one told you to eat the Twinkies. They were just on the shelf. You have the choice. Give everything a chance, but once you know you don't like it, just disengage. If somebody says, hey, did you see that Ian Miles Chong tweet? Go, sorry, brother. Only tweets I hear are the birds on my back porch. Become fully grill-pilled. I'm almost 30 years old. I shouldn't have an opinion on Mr. Beast. Does the Fresh and Fit podcast suck? Or am I just not a Cuban man in the Miami dating scene? Does the Daily Wire suck? Or am I just not the most divorced man at my local cigar lounge? I like 90s anime and ska punk. It's not like if I sat down with those guys, I would convince them that Neon Genesis of art. The Fresh and Fit fan would be like, hey B, I'm gonna keep it real with you. This shit mad gay and retarded. This Shinji shit, he just like a little bitch, you know, freaky ass, jerking his little dick in Asuka's hospital room. That shit nasty for real. Daily Wire fan is like, this Shinji Ikari needs to pull himself up by his bootstraps. I mean, his father owns the company and he's still dropping the ball. It's called responsibility, pal. Get your ass into gear. It's not for them, the same way their shows aren't for me.
I used to be the main...
Okay, to be fair, their shows are for no one, okay? It's for no one. Because at the end of the day, you just want good shit, okay? I'm a simple man. And that's my number one rule, is make good shit. It doesn't matter who's making it. It doesn't matter what kind of like political messages is baked into it. That's why like even Aaron Sorkin stuff is like watchable, okay? It's not unwatchable garbanzo in the way that like something that is both heavily political, condescending, and pedantic, and just like trying to literally force feed you a message in a ham-fisted way. That is the Daily Wire production. The Daily Wire production is aggressively trying to bludgeon you in the head with a political message and is far too angry to actually make something worthwhile. Not all art is going to have a fantastic political message, okay? As a matter of fact, if you're leftist, a lot of art doesn't have a political message that aligns with your worldview. The word you're looking for is didactic. Sure, didactic. Okay. I'm so tired. My point is, it's not about like laser beaming communism into your mind. It's just something that's watchable, and Daily Wire fails on that front. But then again, so much of what people consume nowadays is getting dumber and dumber and shorter and shorter.